This is Morten from INKISH TV, and I have the pleasure of talking to Steve from Xerox. He's actually responsible for Xerox and the AI work that they do in order to make the customer experience much better and hopefully more profitable as well. We're going to talk about that in a second, Steve, but first of all, thank you and
Good
welcome
afternoon,
on
Morten.
INKISH.
Pleasure.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming by.
Always. I don't know if you know, but I used to work for Xerox many years ago. So,
you told me that,
yeah,
I remember, yeah. Well, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Steve, talking about AI and talking about AI in relation to Xerox, we're going to talk what it does for customers in a second. But the broader perspective, AI is by some seen as a blessing and some seen a little bit with a fear. Where do you see it?
Yeah, Morten, that's a great question. I think being in the technology field now for over 30 years, what I can say is GPT, OpenAI, and AI in general is really a breakthrough technology this year in terms of the amount of value, productivity, and enhancement that it's going to bring to people, companies, and society in general. So really, as a technology person, I'm really excited about all the additional capabilities that GPT for AI have brought this year. So I'm really excited about it. I couldn't be more excited about the value. And I certainly understand people's fear because when they start conversing with GPT, it sounds like you're working with a real person. But when you distill and you distill the technology, you understand how to use it, you'll find that it's really just a real great way to interface with AI and have AI help you really have a better day, better work experience, and just be more productive overall in anything you might be doing. So very exciting times for us in the AI field.
I think that we can agree that OpenAI and ChatGPT created a buzz in the industry, and not just in the industry, but in the entire world. Did you work with AI before it was like, let's say every man's access to everybody?
Yeah, Morten, you have it exactly correct. We've been working with AI now for many years, probably the last 4 to 5 years, and Xerox in particular has deployed quite a bit of AI in that time. However, this year, with the advent of GPT software, there's really a breakthrough in capability and value that AI is now bringing, and it's a exponential breakthrough in value and capability, and that's really what has got everyone so excited. Even people that normally would not be talking or working with AI are now working with it. They're using it in a productive way, and that's really the change between really the last couple of years, Morten, and now this year with GPT AI, and it's a complete game changer.
But maybe it's also because, if AI is something that is built into a product and you don't interface with ChatGPT, you write something, you get a proper answer back, and that is like why you still, you start to understand the value for a consumer. And that, I was just about to say that the, let's say, extended interest in AI from the public, does that personally for you and for your group of people gives you option when it comes to better budgets and more investing in AI for Xerox? Everybody's talking about it, right?
Yeah, exactly, and Morten, that's the exact way to think about it. So what companies are doing now, what people are doing now, schools, right? They're looking to figure out how to infuse GPT AI into their products, their processes, and their way of work, right? Because it is so value creating and it's so disruptive in changing the way that work gets done, that products work. Really, every company's trying to figure out how to infuse it. So the amount of investment, the attention, and the focus on AI and GPT enablement has really helped us in the technology field to really focus our work and really increase the amount of value we're bringing to companies and our clients that we service.
And I can imagine that if a company like Xerox didn't invest in AI, it could be like tremendously dangerous from a market perspective, right?
Oh yes. In fact, now with GPT AI, we're thankful to our executive leadership that had the forethought years ago to begin working with AI, because it's really given us a runway to adopt GPT AI and experience its value, again, for our customers and clients very quickly. So we're one of the first to market with some of our AI products in the production print space, and that's what we're so excited about here at Printing United.
Of course. Everybody who has just listened and read a little bit about AI understand that AI is about having the real sources of learning, because the technology needs to learn from somewhere.
That's right.
I was just wondering, because at the same time where you need to learn, there's also like privacy concerns, and I also think that a lot of companies are a little, let's say, cautious about how they share data. So how do you learn? How do you teach your technology?
Yeah, that's a great question. Everything about GPT and AI all starts with data, right? So how we manage data is very important. And when we say data, we're talking about the data around how our devices and machines, our printers behave, and how our people behave in servicing them, as an example. All that data to us is very valuable, proprietary, and we manage that data very carefully, but we make that data accessible to the AI that then helps us optimize our client experience. And that's really the way that it works. Our GPT AI is predominantly working on our own proprietary language models and databases, and that differs from a lot of use cases that other companies are doing where they have GPT that's going to the web, just as you would go search something on Google. And those use cases are, can be less valuable. Given that Xerox has a large repository of behavioral data, we can make that data accessible to the AI that then makes it accessible in a very actionable way to our customers. And that's really where we unlock the value.
So let's talk about the Xerox approach and value proposition. I mean, so if I'm a Xerox customer and let's say I buy a new Irides and I buy some of your software and start working with it, where do I see the big difference?
Right, so if you're a new or if you're a production customer of Xerox, really you're thinking about, okay, how do I optimize my profitability? How do I optimize my uptime in the factory, in my production factory? The way that we optimize that with AI is the AI is very prescriptive and specific, but gives actionable insights and actionable intelligence to make sure that our devices are operating at peak efficiency and peak optimization at all times. But it does that in a predictive way, in a proactive way.
But is it like predictive maintenance that we're talking about, or is it more like predictive behaviors in business, or?
Yeah, it's really both. So it starts as we said, more with predictive maintenance. So the AI is looking at the device, it's looking at all our behavioral data, and it's making a recommendation. Hey, in 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, you have to change this part to optimize and maintain your production uptime. So very, very specific, proactive, prescriptive information that you can take as action, right? And then from there, it's also monitoring the environment and looking at behaviors. So how, as a client, are you using our device? And it'll make recommendations broadly in terms of how to optimize over time. So very specific, proactive service delivery and maintenance, and then behavioral data and behavioral information to optimize your overall factory environment over time. And bringing those two together, you really have the full power of the AI working on the client's behalf to optimize their experience, working with our production devices, and overall optimizing their factory production and uptime.
I do understand that. Question is that like something that you get when you become a production client with Xerox, or is it something that you have to buy in order to get access to all this value?
It can be done either way. So,
okay.
so if
depends on how you contract, basically.
Yeah, it depends on the contract, but generally we're making this AI available to all of our production clients.
But I guess that you also have a huge interest in, because I mean, I know that you're not in sales, but I mean, in a competitive environment, that gives your customers an advantage over your competition, right?
That's exactly right.
So you have a huge, let's say, incentive to make sure that your customers perform better than the competition, right?
That's right. At Xerox, we see AI-enabled proactive service delivery as a differentiator. And so we're making it available to all of our production clients for exactly that purpose. We know that it'll be a game changer in terms of driving the client experience, driving their employee experience, and really optimizing profitability and uptime. So that's the way we think about it, and we're super excited to bring it here to Printing United.
Thank you, sir.
Morten, thank you. Appreciate it.